first, there's this. All members of the Guthrie family have now been cleared by the Pima County officials as possible suspects in this investigation in the disappearance of 84-year-old mother Nancy Guthrie, as the search now enters a third week. Daughter Savannah Guthrie released a new video over the weekend directly telling the potential kidnapper it's never too late to do the right thing. Investigators now waiting on a possible DNA breakthrough in the case, as one FBI official tell Fox News Digital DNA from the recovered glove will be entered into the National DNA Database soon to hopefully find a match. Crime Stories with Nancy Grace host Nancy Grace spoke with Hannity about it last night. Watch.
CODIS, which is, of course, the Combined DNA Index System, is nationwide. If we get a hit, we can get an almost hit or a near hit, which means a relative of the donor, the DNA donor, is in the slammer, has been convicted. So then it doesn't have to be a perfect match. You can then determine a relative's DNA is on that glove. And from there you go to genetic genealogy.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department says the suspect's backpack, clothing, and mask seen in the doorbell video might have been purchased at a local Walmart, but is not exclusively available to that store. FBI Director Kash Patel not ruling out any possibilities.
I do believe we are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprit's involved. And that's the stage we're at right now.
President Trump now threatening the death penalty for Guthrie's potential kidnapper if they do not return her unharmed, said the president. Joining me now is former NYPD inspector and Fox News contributor Paul Mauro, along with former FBI supervisory special agent and CEO of Glacier 21, Ren McEachern. Gentlemen, thanks very much for being here this morning. Paul, your reaction in terms of these new developments this morning. What's your takeaway?
Well, the family being cleared is, of course, significant, but let's just remember that somebody who's been cleared can always come back into the frame. But that said, it does seem like a pretty unequivocal statement. Maybe they know a little bit more about the potential perpetrators here from the DNA than we realize. We may not even have gotten to the CODIS stage yet, which reportedly we have not. That is the FBI database that would give you potentially the identification of the perpetrator were they in the database. Just because if you analyze good DNA accurately, you can learn things like ethnicity, place of origin, eye color, a number of attributes. If they have that, then maybe they're in a position to clear various people that they already had on their radar screen. Right now, though, it seems to me like the most fruitful area of inquiry are these Walmart purchases, trying to synchronize and cross-reference all of these to see who bought this, when, maybe all at the same time, and hopefully Walmart has those records.
Yeah. Ren, what do you think? How significant is this potential breakthrough with the DNA in this CODIS network?
Yeah, it is a big deal, Maria. However, I do want to manage expectations. Now, CODIS has around 26 million profiles, depending how you aggregate the different indexes, and it's only about a hit rate of 750,000 since the index has been in existence. So that hit rate's around only 3%. But to Paul's point, it does allow us to eliminate certain people. But the DNA I'm most interested in is the DNA they found in the house, not so much in the gloves. Those gloves, again, were found 2 miles away or not at the crime scene. But that DNA at the house, that is critical, 100%.
Well, why don't we know about that DNA yet? I mean, this is the third week. We haven't checked the DNA in the house?
Well, here's the problem. And, you know, the guiding principle investigation should be send the evidence to the place that's the most capability, the most efficient, and, you know, the fastest way this stuff can be done. This is a kidnapping case. Every minute matters. I believe this DNA sample should have sent directly to the FBI lab in Quantico so that we could expedite every part of that process and get identification quickly.
Liz Peek, your thoughts?
I think it's astonishing that they didn't go to Quantico immediately. Obviously, as this gentleman just said, every second counts, and particularly when this woman has health issues, she needs medication, which apparently she doesn't have. I'm also shocked that no one has phoned in with some sort of lead when they saw the video of this fellow all rigged out in his Walmart costume. And isn't anyone out there aware that somebody is wearing this stuff, that bought it, etc. I'm really kind of surprised that given what we have now seen in the way of the video, that no one has called in some tips.
What do you think, guys? Paul?
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising, especially after the Bureau doubled the reward, which is something that a lot of us were advocating for from the beginning. One of the things I hope they're doing is pursuing the reward, publicizing it, and publicizing the case south of the border. And this is why having the FBI involved is so important.
Yeah.
You can go through the legal attaché in Mexico City. You're only about an hour from the border there, and there are a lot of day workers and things like that who are going in and out. And so I do hope that that's being done as well. And as far as the DNA, I think one of the things we really should look for here is whether or not the DNA on this glove, which I have to say I have to manage expectations as well about that. The glove seems to me a long shot. But that said, if the glove DNA, which they reportedly recovered, matches DNA in the house, even if you don't get an ID, you now know that there's a very good chance that the owner of that DNA is who you're looking for. That alone would be a big step forward here.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. We so appreciate you weighing in on all of this. Thank you. Paul Mauro and Ren McEachern joining us this morning. Oh, stay with us. We're going to take a look at markets when we come right back. Stay with us.